Okay, good afternoon, folks. I hope everyone is well. It is the 13th of August. We have had some PPI data through a little while ago, about an hour ago, caused a little bit of a spike. We have some more tomorrow, CPI data tomorrow. So that'll give us a little bit more information where this chart's likely to go, where price is likely to go. Have been playing around with a $250,000 account earlier, which I passed. We had that what looked like an overshoot, and we had this little bottom, so I bought here and it pushed up really nicely, and I think I was about 2,000 short, and I waited for the news. We had that little spike there and a pullback, so I jumped in there for a couple of points and that passed that account. So market's dropping in about 30 seconds, and let's see. I had a bad day yesterday, worst day I've had on these accounts, down about 570 per account. It's just one of those days yesterday. Sometimes it happens, but I notice I'm trying to jump in a little bit more than I should have done. So I need to focus a little bit more and just keep my sort of what I'm looking for, keep my standards up. And hopefully, okay, so a little bit of lag coming up there. That's cooled down now. So Ionis, how are you? Akitri, how you doing, bud? Chris, how you doing, mate? So push up sideways. Is it working along here? It kind of looks like it might, but there's also a possibility that we are putting out some range tops. But what I will say is we still seem to be working upwards. Sort of topping off here. So I didn't watch the whole stream, but did you get 10 points? Yeah, I did. That was the my funded futures. The frustrating thing is I really like that trade, that failure. And the frustrating thing is, because I just lost the trade, I couldn't trade my normal accounts because of this Guardian Angel for 10 minutes. And the only account I had left was the my funded futures one, which I passed in the end. So it's frustrating the one time I couldn't trade and we end up getting a really massive move like that. So yeah, so 1, 2, 3 attempts to go up. So yeah. Who is the two? It's with Apex. I had one the other day, which I was trading by itself aggressively, trying out a kind of a new way to trade. And it worked 3 times and went against me on the 4th. So I just need to... The trouble is, once you got these accounts, you kind of try and experiment with the odd single account, because one losing account doesn't really do any harm if you got 10 of them. So I don't know, lately I just seem to be messing around a little bit, so I need to just... you never quite get rid of that urge to sort of want to try and capture a big move or try something new, and I shouldn't really be doing that with the PA accounts. Yeah, it was a lovely trade. It was a nice failure, trapping some longs for sure. And that's, well, whether I'd have held that long with the PA accounts, I probably wouldn't have done. It's nice to say I would have captured a big move, but it's probably not going to happen. There was a failure there, trapping some longs, but I don't really want to go long into this because it has proved some support. So it's hard to know. That's the trouble. A lot of the times when we kick off in the market, we haven't really set down any, I don't know, structure so I can work with. And you don't know whether this is going to bounce, come down and start ranging, or you don't know whether it's going to push up. So taking one of those is something I didn't really want to do. The PPI data, I think, was it sort of 0.8 was expected. It was a little bit less than expected, I think. But it didn't do a great deal, really. A couple of spikes and then more or less back to normal. So that ATR is still quite high at the moment. So I'm still trading with just one contract and going for 3 ticks. There's no point going for 2 points when the ATR is double what it is. Each of these bars, on average, are double the size of a normal bar. So I don't want to have twice as much risk and not compensate for profit. So, but a bad day yesterday. I had to sort of sit now. I was a bit frustrated. That's probably the most frustrated I've been since I've had these accounts. But you've just got to get on with it, you know. So I tried to process it and take something, and I was just trying to imagine I was just trying to think about how I was feeling yesterday, and I was kind of really wanting to get into a trade, which is completely the wrong way. I seem to have clarity and sit there nice and patient and take 2 or 3 trades a week. And then for some reason, I have this sort of little bit of silliness where I'm jumping into trades. So I think I need to. It's very, very, very hard to keep yourself a certain standard consistently. So what I will say, I was watching a guy on YouTube last night, and he was talking about how you feel when we get a setup. And he mentioned something which struck a chord, and he said, when you take a really good setup, you jump in, you fully commit, and you sit back quite happily because you know it's one of those trades that really doesn't fail or extremely rarely fail. You've got to try and keep hold of that and use that sort of model for every trade you take, really, which is easier said than done. Forcing trades is not good. Yeah, I do wonder whether this is something we're always going to be battling with to a degree, or whether we'll do it less and less. I'm guessing you do it less, but there's always emotions in trading. I don't think you ever completely get rid of the emotions, but it is keeping your standards and only taking the best setups. The trouble is, lately, over the last maybe 6 months, we're not getting a lot of them. We had a really nice setup last week. I don't know if you remember, we had a beautiful channel. We had 2 lovely legs down and a high low. It was an absolute perler. I need to get that same feeling when I get into a trade. But it's tough, isn't it? I mean, we've got a channel up here. We've got 2 nice legs back. We've actually had a break at a new high. Actually, we haven't actually, but you've got 2 nice legs. That's the type of trade you want to get into, or a higher low. But it's keeping that same standard and not losing your standards. Did you withdraw money from the accounts? No, I've withdrawn money from 2 of these accounts that I've got now, but I seem to be a bit stagnant the last month. I haven't really gained a lot. I haven't lost accounts, which is good, but I haven't really gained a lot of profit. I think what I did is I was trading 2 contracts and I decided to go back to 1 contract, and I was taking more riskier trades, and I lost a few in a row. So I decided to go back up to 2 contracts to give me that little bit of extra pressure. Although I'm at 1 now, because of this ATR has been quite high. There's been a lot of volatility lately, but it's hard being consistent constantly. It feels like a bit of a chore that you've got to really be on your game every single minute you're on the chart. Sometimes we take a breath. In our jobs, we may answer a phone, we may talk to people, we may do something that we're not supposed to. we kind of do in all walks of life, don't we? Sometimes we'll be not focusing or for whatever reason. But with trading, you've got to be. It's hard to sort of put into words, but you've really got to be at your peak performance all the time, and it constantly feels a little bit tiresome in a way. But it's just kind of what it is. A rule in your business plan for profit for a day max. Okay, I don't think you should have any financial goals. Saying I want to try and get 1 trade a day or this, that and the other. You can only give what the market offers you, basically. Market will give you an offer and you take it, and that's the end of it. You can't make money because you want to out these markets. You have to, in points, okay. I normally, when the ATR's around 2, I usually go for 2 points. I think it works 98% of the time as opposed to 1 point. You'll very rarely see a trade that'll go for a point but not 2 points. So that's what I go for. Now, that ATR is double at the moment what it normally is. So I'm going for a little bit extra, 12 ticks, which is 3 points. I've been trading 2 points now for a year or so. And going from 1 point to 2 point, in my opinion, is an absolute no-brainer. You've got to do it. Target for the day. That's what I mean. I don't have a target, really. I don't say this is how many I want to do, because you might not get a trade. So what I tend to do, I have a let's not call it a target, but I have a level where I finish trading, which is 2 losses. But I am wondering whether to go for the one and done scenario. There's been a couple of times where I've had a winning trade and then taken a loss after it. So I seem to maybe be at my best when I just take one winner. So I'm going to have a think about it over the next week. But you can adjust your ways of trading and ways of taking trades. You can constantly be tweaking and adjusting them to try and find somewhere that feels somewhere in the lines of balance. But it's not easy. It's a tough business. It's tough mentally. It drains you. But it's kind of what it is, and you kind of have to just live with it. But I wonder whether even after a few years of training, sometimes you feel like a complete novice and the market's just walking all over you. But what I found is when I'm on my game, it's when I'm at my pickiest and fussiest. You know, some of the trades I've taken in the last week, I wouldn't normally taken because of, you know, if I see a trade and it's like that sideways or there's a bit of congestion, I used to stay away from it. But like yesterday, I got chopped to pieces, mainly because I traded in congestion. I should have known better not to do that. So, you know, 2 legs back there. It's tough, it really is. It's not easy. So we've got a channel out there with 2 legs back. Hey, Speedy, how you getting on, mate? How you getting on? With 10 accounts, 1 contract, 1 trade a day makes good money. Absolutely. The way I see it, normally I trade with 2 contracts. I'm trading 1 at the moment. If I take 3 winning trades a week for $200, that's over $2,000 a month. Now, even if you did half of that with 10 accounts, that's still $10,000 a month. Now, I don't care what anybody says, that's good money. And if you can do that, you can do it with 20 accounts, or you can build up to it and you can do it with more. You know, there's plenty of money to be earned in this business, and you don't need to do a lot of trades to earn that money. Excuse me. They just need to be good trades, and you need to just operate consistently. And I think a lot of times I trade what I think as opposed to what I'm actually seeing. For instance, this. We've got a channel there with a break. We're at a new high here. This channel is at a break. So is this a bigger channel? Do you look to go long here? This to me feels congested. But do you think about the bigger channel, in which case you want it to come back here? Or do you just think about that channel and you want to go long there after these 2 legs back? There's so many different ways of looking at price. Damn, you made 15,000. Yeah, I did it earlier. I took that one. I saw there was a bit of a channel and we had that drop down towards the bottom and it bounced and bounced. So I took well, in fact, it went up across and came down, and I just bought there because I thought leg and a leg with an overshoot, it's at least going to get up here. And it did pretty quick, and I was about $3,000 short, so I set up 27 contracts with a custom trade to give me enough, and we had that initial push and a pullback, and I jumped in there and it just pushed up and give me, I think I took 3 points in a second. I have to make 50. No. That's an evaluation, bud. That's an evaluation. Yeah. It's not a PA firm. It's not a PA account. Yeah. Yeah, that would be weird, wouldn't it? See, there's a second entry long there. Did you take it or what? Yeah, it actually is a second entry. Got 1 leg down. Second leg down. It actually is a second entry, but my concern is we've got support here that we're going to push up, make a couple of attempts and come down. So You took it, yeah. I don't know at the moment. What's to the left of it that failed? Not on my chart, mate. It looks okay to me. All these bars are not breaking above each other. Comes down, I don't know. Well, I mean second entries. I tend to not think of them like that. And what I'm seeing really is just two pullbacks, leg and a leg. Did work and worked nice. So like, yeah, it doesn't look like a terrible trade, but my concern is exactly what we're doing at the moment. Yeah, it's not a bad second entry at all. I'm just not sure whether the thing that's concerning me at the moment is going long up this high, because it does look like, don't do that. We've got something like this, something like that, and it's concerning me going that high. I mean, it's worked perfectly fine anyway, but that's what I'm thinking about. I'm not 100% sure whether I think this is right or not, because we seem to have a lot of support there, so I'm wondering whether this is something that's going to fail and come down. But God, that is frustrating though when you say that, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, Thomas Wade has just put that on now, so he's looking at the same thing. Strange, isn't it? And then you see that, same as me, and then someone puts that on. I don't kind of know what they're seeing there, to be honest with you. Daily Mayor, 54.30. So I passed that my funded futures anyway. Well, it's strange. I had two of them. First one, I wanted to have a go at an overnight thing, so I was looking at this type of thing, and I set one for overnight to try that. I just wanted to try a new way of doing things, working out where markets likely to go, and I passed the one, and I had an email saying, "Congratulations, you passed it." And about 5 minutes later, it said, "You've had a so-and-so breach. Your account's been deactivated." And I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I was trying to chat with a few people, and they were going, "I don't know what you've done." I was chatting with Charlie Baker, and he said, I don't know. He messaged me and said, put a ticket in all this. I put a ticket in, and I got confused. It was the wrong. It just happened to be that the bad email came 2 minutes after the good email, so I put the two and two together and came out with three. That's the problem, but I have passed one. Now, it does say 24 to 48 hours before it's up and running, which is the one thing I like about Apex. If you pay for a valuation, you're up and running in 3 minutes, and if you pay for your PA, you're up and running within 30 minutes, and I kind of like that. Have you guys got faith in Apex? Been reading a lot of OT. At the moment, yes, I have. Now, they have rules, Apex, but they didn't adhere to them. So a lot of people, including me, took a lot of risks and got away with it. So they've just decided to implement the rules. They must be paying out a ton of money to people who are gambling and trying to get lucky and breaking rules, and they've just started applying the rules, and it's catching a few people out. But no one I know that I've spoken to that has not been paid out says they broke a rule. And everyone I know that's been paid out said they played the game. So at the moment, I've got no issues with Apex. They're not out to piss people off on purpose because they'll just lose customers. If they stop everybody, people will just walk. If people know they've broken a rule and they get penalised for it, they're going to be frustrated, but they're going to have to deal with it. But if you start to piss off customers who generally are taking good trades, they'll just walk. Because they won't have, there's no point, if you trade perfectly every time and Apex say no, there's no point in staying with Apex, you might as well move. But if people are taking bad trades or trying to get lucky, they'll stay with Apex because they know they only got penalised because they did something stupid. So it is generally people who are swinging the lead a bit and trying to just break the rules and trying to get away with it that are getting penalised, you know. You block them people and say no, they'll keep coming back. But if you block a genuine trader who's worked hard to get there, and he'll just walk somewhere else. So cry and complain. Yeah, it is. We've all broken rules, and most of us, well, I certainly have. Some of my payments, some of my earlier couple of payments from Apex have been very questionable. I mean, I was in a trade. It went against me by $2,500, and I was literally a tick or two getting stopped out, and I got it all back and managed to hit over 26, and I put a withdrawal in and they paid me, so I was lucky. So I think a lot of people have been getting away with it, and you know, and they're getting stopped, and that's what it is. So if you're trading genuinely, just like I am, you're turning up every day, and I'm not going for massive moves. I'm going for 2 to 4 points. I'm risking about 3 to 4 points, and I'm just taking a trade, 1, 2, 3 trades a day. So I'm not doing anything stupid. Well, that may be questionable, but good to know. I hope that guy with 2 million on his live account. I did hear about that. Someone else mentioned that yesterday. I meant to have a look. I don't know whether I would be comfortable with leaving $2 million in an account. Put it that way. I don't care who it was that was looking after my money. Mind you, what I will say, if he can genuinely make that money, he's made anyway, I think. So some people just have a knack for trading. They just have the correct mentality. They may be very focused. You know, some people, if they say they're going to do something, they do it, whatever the case. You know, some people can get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, run 10 miles, have a green smoothie, drink a gallon of water a day. Some people are just focused in life and they say they're going to do something, they just do it. I think people like that, because half the battle is with your emotions and your will, isn't it? So some people just are naturally better at it than others. I believe you can all trade. I believe most people. I don't think there's many people that can't, but you obviously have to have that commitment. Without that commitment and drive to keep coming back, you'll struggle. You've got to have that drive and commitment, because there's so many failures in this business, unlike most other jobs you learn. And if you can't deal with that side of it, you're going to get crippled, mentally crippled. I mean, it does feel like torture from time to time, I will say. I have that level of commitment, but it's usually for Big Macs. Yeah, I'm with you there, brother. I'm with you there. I've stuck a bit of weight on since I'm streaming. I'm about 16 stone now, I am. And I'm finding it hard to get a bit off, actually. But I sign up to the gym, I go a couple of times, and then I cancel at the end of the month. I need to, you ever sometimes when you're not part of the way through your life, you're kind of stuck in a bit limbo land a bit. The thing is with trading, I've put my whole life into it. Every little thought and my whole mind, it's focused It's like when you have kids, everything revolves around the kids. Your whole day, you're thinking, you wake up in the night, everything is about your kids. When you have kids, that's kind of like what it's been like for me trading over the last sort of coming up 4 years. And it kind of wears you out sometimes. I am trying to separate, work from time off. I go to the gym 10 times a week, dear early. I started last September. There was a new gym that opened near where I live, and in fairness, when the roads are quiet, it takes you about a minute and a half to get there. It's about 1.75 miles, and it's a 24-hour gym as well. And there is a McDonald's right over the road, so it's win-win. And I started going there. I'm not a massive cardio. I can't stand on a running machine all day, but I don't mind lifting some weights because I feel sometimes, obviously certain studies and that, which are changing all the time, they do say that lifting weights is a lot more beneficial than cardio. Keeping your muscles strong, it helps with your balance and everything. So I have done some weights, nothing major, but I'll sit there for an hour or 3/4 and just go steady and give it a couple of weeks just so you don't get too sore. My 15-year-old son then picking him up. Yeah. Picking him up. Have a bit in. I've just dropped my 15-year-old daughter actually in town. Can I have some money, Dad? How much do you want? Is 50 too much? That's a different world from when I was little, I tell you. £50 just to go into town. I went, what are you going to get with it? She went, oh, just something for lunch. And I'm thinking, what the hell are you going to eat? So there's an overshoot there. So if we can get a higher low, I'm happy to put that there for the minute because the top fits okay. Are we going to get a bounce here? See a little channel with a bit of an overshoot. I'm looking for a higher low. Ah, okay. My new funded futures accounts are up and live. Fantastic. They said 24 to 48 hours, so that was quick. So I'll have to sign up to that later. Oh, that's good news anyway. I did karate for years. I've never really been a fitness person. I've never enjoyed it. But the thing I like about karate is it was the learning and the history that interests me, and the sort of workout sort of came as a sort of extra, as a byproduct. And then I ended up twisting one of my knees bad and tearing some cartilage. And I had a chunk of cartilage out, so that was kind of my karate days over, really. So I can't run a lot. I can do a mile or a couple of miles. After that, my knee starts to get sore. So I had a rowing machine here a while ago, and I used to do a little bit of rowing. Hello to you. What's your name? Hamza. How you doing, Hamza? Where are you from, buddy? Are you UK or are you US? Whereabouts are you in the world? Okay, I think this is still in this channel, so I'm looking for a higher low here. There is an overshoot there, so we need to get above that EMA. Consider that as an overshoot. You can't consider one. No? Are you from Morocco? Excellent. Why can't you consider that as an overshoot? It's a channel, isn't it? What am I missing? Excuse me. Yeah, you too, my friend. You too. We've had someone else from Morocco. It's not you, is it? We have had someone else in from Morocco. I'm sure there's a couple of guys been in from Morocco in the past. I'm not getting off like that. So I live near shopping centre. Door shopping centre. Kids go shopping these days. Like, yeah, you're not wrong. In fact, it's my daughter's 16th birthday in just under a month. And she said to me, she went, how much can I have for my birthday, Dad, on presents? And I went, what do you want? And she went, is 1,000 too much? Kind of took my breath away. I kind of wish I hadn't asked her now. And she went, oh, no, I'm sorry. I feel really cheeky. She started saying that. Is 1,000 too much? Okay, so far so good. Let's see if we get a higher low here and trap some shorts there.
Order submitted.
Thought we're going to get a higher low there. Yeah, they shouldn't do. I think the only thing is I was chatting with Sam earlier, he messaged me, and he's still waiting on a payout approval, which he made, I think, a week and a half ago. Something like that, nearly 2 weeks ago. You just see what's going on here. So, yeah, it's just these approvals are taking their time, which is a bit scary. Yeah, maybe. But if there is a second entry long there, let's see how this finishes. Sorry, a higher low there.
Order cancelled.
I like to just give it a tick now and just see what it does if I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm kind of with you there, mate. I was just looking at this, and this kind of looks like it's coming down a bit. All I'm going to see, just see what happens here, in case we have two legs. But yeah, I'm a bit unsure what's going on here at the moment. But yeah, you might be right about the reversal. I'm going to go back to 1 contract and 3 ticks. That just came down. It's gone back up now. 1 contract 12. Contract 12.
Order submitted.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful.
Order cancelled.
Yeah, range is what I'm thinking at the moment. But yeah, I think you're right about that. We've had that and a break. We've had that 2 pushes down, 1, 2 pushes up for a new high. I mean, there's a possibility. If we have 2 legs down, this bounces and pushes up, then I'd say, yeah, there's something probably larger there. But if it doesn't break above here and continue one up, then maybe there is something. I don't know. But it's a bit unclear at the moment. Yeah. One, two, three. Could call that a triple test, I suppose. 2 legs down. Just sitting waiting though. It's just unclear at the moment. We have kind of, in fact, you could even say shoulder, head, shoulder. It's kind of like a head and shoulders pattern, that, isn't it? Okay, 1, 2, 3, triple test. Let's see if this triggers. I'm not trading at the moment. I'm just interested to see whether it triggers and pushes up or whether it's a trap. Because it does look like a shoulder, a head, a shoulder, which is a bearish pattern when it's right way up, I believe. Okay, 1, 2, 3, triple test. We have got 2 legs. High or low? Which high or low you on about? I haven't got one on there. You on about? Where is a high or low? I'm not sure where you're looking at, bud. What I will say is there's actually a nice second entry long on the 10,000 tick chart. Depends how you look at this. Leg and a leg. Which looks like it's getting trapped, doesn't it? That's interesting. That's going to get eaten, I think. See if we can get a second entry short here. There is a small gap there. Yeah, I've got all sorts of things in my head at the moment. I've just looked at this. Someone's got possibly something larger. It's hard to say at the moment. I think that's probably going to get stopped out. If this finishes bearish, I think this is coming down at the moment. I do. Because there's going to be some longs in there for sure. It's interesting. Took out that liquidity and pushed up. 2 legs down, a retest and up. Interesting. Second entry long. Trouble is, the thing looks like it's looping down. At the moment, this looks like it's coming down because it's making lower highs at the moment. Let's just put this back a minute. Where was it? About here, wasn't it? Something like that. Leg and a leg, a retest and a push up. Yeah, it does. But it's probably trapping some shorts, I think. 2 legs back, a retest, and then up. Does seem to be struggling to get up, to be honest with you. So whether it's just going to rocket up and take out stops, whether it's trapping shorts, but I have a feeling this may come down. I mean, at the moment, it's a definition of a channel. Lower highs, lower lows. High, lower, 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 lower. 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's made 4 lower highs. Spike and channel down, maybe, yeah. Let's put it from here and see where it... Maybe. It's kind of going down, but sideways. So I got into some of this yesterday thinking it was doing something. Well, it's like this. I just need to sit out of it. My gut tells me it's likely to come down. Excuse me, but failing that, I'm just a bit unsure at the moment. 1, 2, 3. We could get 3 bounces here, and then it could rocket up. Also, we've had a break. 1 attempt, 2 attempts. We've made 3 attempts to push higher, and we've struggled to. So your guess is as good as mine. There's obviously a battle going on here, which we play no part, unfortunately. Let me just see if I can connect to my funded futures now. Not my new account. Yeah, kind of on the fence there. Doesn't fit as nice. So I've gone for the that. Not sure about that. See if I can see any other charts. Well, he's not necessarily gone from the top. Well, he's not necessarily got a channel, but he has gone from there. It kind of fits there. He's gone from the top. I've got nothing else at the moment. Look at Mac's channels. A lot of them don't fit nice. Half of those don't fit nice. Mac completely confuses me on some of his channels. I mean, I wouldn't surprise if Mac had a channel like that, to be honest with you. He does some of the oddest channels sometimes. Yeah, it's hard to say at the moment. We got a channel with a break, new high, channel break, 2 push up to a new high. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. See if it comes up here again. I mean, it definitely fits there. There's no argument there. So we'll just see what happens. See if it continues there that way. They certainly are useful. Yeah, they can make or break you sometimes. It's kind of like why I like having Thomas Wade's forum on here, because I get to see some other charts. You guys can see mine and sort of compare it to yourself. 2 heads are better than 1 type of thing, so which is why. But he's got nothing on here lately. So whether he can't find him something himself or not, I don't know. Well, he's still got the bigger channel, I think, with 2 pushes down, but then we're continuing again. So for me, this is more likely a downtrend, although it's not coming down very steeply considering how quick it went up or how steep it went up. But I mean, there may end up being something slightly big. I don't know. At the moment, we seem to be working down. So we've made 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. We're clearly coming down. How's Penguin doing? Still following? Yeah, I still. I had a look at his one last night. I mean, that guy does well. He very rarely gets a losing day. He trades very similar to Mac, but it's kind of like a bigger version, a blown out version. But what he says and what he shows does make perfect sense. Price action really just does not lie. There is times where it's discretionary, but I think you can always find a reason why something didn't work. That lower high that a load of us got stuck in, there was clearly a larger uptrend. So it just depends how you've got your charts. Sometimes, let's say, for instance, if that wick there, if that wick was a solid bar, you would adjust your channel. But on another chart, it might be, let's say it's a big red candle. It's a bearish bar. So you may take that up there. It's still a bearish bar, but it's a bearish pin bar. So you would tend to go that way. So it can adjust. Sometimes it can make that chart look a little bit confusing sometimes. Not to draw uptrends based on swing highs. That's important. Yeah, larger channels, yeah, I agree. Sometimes if you go for bigger stuff, I mean, if you're going for something like that and you're looking for something, although it kind of fits, the trouble is, if it goes up here now, you're always going to be waiting till it gets to the bottom. So it's good to, if anything, it gives you direction. So if this channel was right, we've got a leg up with a bit of a pullback and we could get another leg up. So it's always a possibility. But if you treat it at that, you are going to miss channels. I agree with that, yeah. A lot of times in the past, I've bigger channels. But I mean, going with something like this, I don't mind that because that's not a bad channel because it's reasonably, you know, a couple of legs back, 2 legs back to the bottom of the channel. It's not too bad. But if that was the case, we'd be looking for a new high. We're clearly struggling. Yeah, but no, Penguin's doing okay. He's doing okay. In fact, I looked at a trade the other day. We had a leg down and 2 attempts up, and I said it was the perfect Penguin trade, and sure enough, he took it. So if I do see anything very similar, then, if I like it enough, then I've got no problem with taking it. I think as a trader, you grow, you learn, you expand your knowledge, you expand your skills. You're always learning. I don't think you're going to stick to exactly the same strategy for the rest of your life. When you see this market move the same way every time, you're going to notice things when the market's likely to trap you, and you may go, oh, I'm going to follow the trap here, trap some other traders. There's lots of things you can do. And I think that's probably a lot why Mac doesn't show us what trades he takes, because he trades outside the box. He's got to teach us a certain way. When you teach someone at college or university, you have a certain syllabus which you follow. And when they come out and they get into their chosen professions, you find your own way of doing things, your own style. You put your own, you rub your own funk on it, for want of a better word. So I think that's a lot of why Mac doesn't show us his trades. There is a second entry short there, clearly working down, but it's very congested on this chart here, so that could sting you. There's always a possible failure there as well, a short failure, but I'm just sitting tight at the moment. You think this would come down. You're going to have longs in there. Certainly there, I would have thought. And you expect there's a second entry short there, but once it's congested, that just makes things a little bit more risky. And if there is a bigger channel there, then this thing could still go up. I've always questioned if Mac actually takes trades. I've never seen. Yeah, I've been watching Mac now for over 3 years, and yeah, sometimes we know he marks aggressive trades that never fail because it's just the nature of the game. But when you've watched him enough, you'll know. I've got no doubt that this system works, no doubt at all, and I'm confident he does well out of it. And he has done for years. He won't still be in it for years. You can't get away with it. If people are doing your strategy long enough and there's holes in it, they'll soon find them. He does, yeah. If you look at some of his older ones, in fact, it's interesting to look at some of his older ones because you can see some of the ones where he sort of bent his own rules a little bit. He moved his stop a couple of times, but yeah, you can't get away defrauding someone for 13 years without someone spotting it. You just can't do it. You'll get away with it for a certain amount of time, but I've got no issues whatsoever. Max, as legitimate as he says he is. And price action works. It purely does. Once you've been doing it long enough, you know it works. The only reason you lose is because you take an area that you may be unclear about where it's going. Those trades I took yesterday, why did I lose them? It's simple. It's choppy as shit. Was it here? I was leg down like that. There was a second entry short. I took that one. Triggered me, stopped me out. There was something else I took here. Triggered me, stopped me out. You can't trade that. It's unclear. It's choppy. But patience got the better of me, thinking this was coming down to the bottom because we're going up, down, up, down, up, and I'm thinking down. We have a leg down, we go sideways, and it did work. Not before it pushed up, took out any stops that were in here, and then pushed down. So it's just being aware of times like that where you've just got to stay out of it. Now, don't get me wrong, if you get in here and you got your stop up here, you're going to get away with it. But because we trade such tight stops, you've got no room for error. You have to wait for a perfect setup. And nothing in there at all is a perfect setup. Nothing in there is a perfect setup. Same here, you just can't trade this. And sometimes, You know, when you've been waiting a while, it's very easy for your patients to get the better of you, and you talk yourself into a possible setup. For instance, that one there, you may think, oh, yes, second entry short triggers you, goes up, stops you out by a tick, comes down the same direction. So you really have to wait for an obvious setup. And you may be waiting a while. You could be waiting a day, a couple of days. You may get 2 within 30 minutes. But the trouble is, because there's such a lot of failure in trading, you never feel that confident in your ability. And when you get a good setup, sometimes you question it. I find I stay out of more good setups because they seem too good to be true. And I get into poor setups because I make a setup out of a congested area. So it's about constantly working and finding that balance. Too strict, you're missing out. Too lapsy-daisy, you're going to lose trades. It's finding that nice balance that you've got to do. And it's not easy. It takes time. Okay, so whether you've got your channel from the top of there or here, that's definitely a break. Now, although we're coming down, we're not coming down with any sort of speed. So I do wonder whether we are going to push up a bit more. We certainly could do. You know, you just don't know what's going to happen. We could end up doing something like that. He did record one trade recently, some months ago, where he bottom picked a trade, almost failed. Yeah. Sometimes these trades do, they almost come back on you. But if you look here, this one, both of these came back. They never broke above the previous one. That bar there never broke above this. That bar there never broke above that. And that's generally what happens in a downtrend. The only time you'll break above that is if we get a break of it. And most times you can tell if we're going to have a break. Every time here, we're coming right down to the bottom. We did, for some reason, we didn't there, and we pushed back up. And then we pushed down and pushed up and had a break. So something, I'd have waited here because it's not coming down to the bottom. So what happens, it comes back, drops, and has a break. It did fail. We got 4 ticks first. Yeah. Trading's not black and white. It really isn't. It's not easy. I don't know too much about the nuts and bolts of this, but I believe this is run by algorithms, and it kind of works out of, it works towards liquidity. And sometimes if you've got a, you know, a poor entry, they don't last. If you've got a good solid entry, a lot of times it'll come back and take out previous ones. But if it's a good solid entry, it'll hold. And if you're taking weak trades, you're often going to get. That's why those really brilliant trades, those ones you just can't click the button quick enough, just don't fail. See, I'm looking at this 10,000 tick chart here. So I'm just trying to work out what's going on in the bigger picture. Same sort of thing. It's a tough one, really. It's not easy at the moment. Mac tested MES for a few months. Tested, displayed his stats from the trader. Yeah, I mean, look at that, 97%. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. This market moves a certain way. If it didn't, you wouldn't be able to trade price action on any chart. So there is a certain way human beings think. You know, we know we're studying a human behaviour here. And when you've been studying enough, you get very good at reading what people are going to do. And that's why Mac can do what he can do, because he spent years doing it. You know, if no matter what job you have, if you spent years doing it, you get very good at it. And that's why a lot of these he can just spot. He just tends to know what people are thinking because he's seen it happen that many times. It's actually harder than the ES. Yeah, it may be because the people that are trading it. I don't think you're really going to get any institutional traders trading the MES, really, are you? So that might be why it's different. I think Max says to trade it on the 1,000. I'm pretty sure when I started to learn from him, I remember him mentioning trade it on the 1,000 tick chart, the MES. But it is a great bit of kit. It's great if you want to have a little bit of risk. And you've got to have a little bit of skin in the game, otherwise you're never going to get used to the psychological side. Yeah, I'm not sure about this at the moment. Let's just put it back where it was. So we've had a break, 2 pushes to a new low, so that technically now has played out. I'm still a bit unsure what's going on. This bit at the top, this bit out here. It's a bit sideways as well as down. It's very easy sometimes to get sucked in short and the thing rockets up. But it's just not a great picture at the moment. $9.50 chart with the MES, $9.50. It took that long. We tested market open up to the EMA. Yeah, we've had a break. I'm just not sure whether this channel is a little bit wider. Maybe incorporating this. See if there is an uptrend there, which people seem to think there is. Then we may be looking really to test those highs. I don't think it fits that bad. Trouble is, when you have a break, sometimes we'll do this. Sometimes the bigger these channels are, the more of a break we'll have, and it'll just be a little bit inconsistent for a while. But we've had 2 legs down. Sometimes I expect another retest and then a push up, but then we came down and then down again. So I'm just a bit unsure exactly what's going on here. Channel down, 1 attempt to go higher, 2nd attempt to go higher.
Order.
Okay, so my funded futures should be up and running now.
Order submitted.
Yes, it is. Good. Excellent.
Order cancelled.
Let's try it this way. Channel down. 1, 2 attempts to go up. So it does look like we're trying to make a new high from this. Uh, Gonna say yesterday was a horrible day. Well, it was for me anyway. This horrible stuff this is. That was the only half decent one. The frustrating thing is I like the failure, trapping some longs there, and that one tanked. Unfortunately, I'd taken a trade here. Can't remember what it was now and lost it. Oh, it was that one there. 2 legs back, a high or low. No, it wasn't. Tell a lie. It was back here I took it. I can't remember what it was now. I think it was that one there. Or the high or low to go. I took something here or something. I couldn't trade it for a while because of I got blocked in a trade. I can't remember where it was. So I couldn't trade that one on my 10 accounts. The only one I could trade it with was the evaluation. I jumped in short there and the thing tanked and I passed it one go. It dropped 20 points in 4 bars. Damn shame I could have done with that on my 10 PAs. God, one move like that would be beautiful right about now. So clearly pushing up to the highs, I think. Okay, so it looks like we're going to make that new high. I'm just wondering whether there is something else a little bit wider here. Not wide, a little bit less aggressive. I'm going to put that there. It kind of looks like a spike in a channel, doesn't it? It's frustrating when you see that. Normally from there, you wouldn't expect to see that straight up for new high. You expect it to go up, trap a few longs, couple of legs down, trap a few shorts, and then push up again. It's not often you would expect that just from the edge of the channel there, 5, 10, 15, it's going to go up about nearly 20 points. Certainly 17, 18 points from here, straight up. There we go, new high. Yeah, see, Thomas Wade has got that as one channel. His kind of fits. Oh, he's taken it. He's taken it from there. I've gone for the bottom. For me, it doesn't look like that. It's just definitely got a bend on it. Mine has. And this one has as well. I mean, if he's taking it from about there, I don't see how you can... see how you can make that fit, really. All this is missing. No, it doesn't look right to me, that. It just goes to show some people's charts are slightly different. Even if you stretch the thing out, it's still not massively better. There's still a little bit of an elbow there, isn't there? Okay, so channel has got a break, 2 legs down, then another couple of more legs down, and then a push up and a new high by a tick. Yeah, there's a scaling rule on the My Fund of Futures account, which I don't think is a bad idea. You could only trade one contract from 0 to 1,000. When you got over $1,000, you can go up to 2,000. When I think you get up to $2,500, you go up to 3 contracts. So that's fine. I'm quite happy doing one contract at the moment, and then 2 above 1,000. It's nice to have the option, but there's nothing more I want to do than that at the moment. I'm up and running as well, so you can see my account there. If I select buy
Order
limit,
submitted.
that's my live My Fund of Futures account. So it is nice that I can trade at the same time as this. Makes life so much
Order
easier.
cancelled.
There's always a possibility of a 2-tiered channel there. Let's see how this works, but it's a bit too early for something. So channel with a break. We've already made a break and a new high from this original larger channel. So you've got to be careful going along here. If we can get a 2 legs down, wouldn't mind having a go. I'd like to see 2 legs down because that bar there, I think, is a weak trade to go long. So I wouldn't be surprised if this comes down below there, takes this out. So from what's that to Apex, if anyone has a discount code. Any discount codes with Apex, if you use my code UKFT in capital letters, you'll get the best available discount, which currently is $80. So UKFT, that's it, from UK Futures Trader, all capitals. That'll get you the best current discount. And tell your friend if he does use it, thank you very much. It's appreciated. I've more or less got the same thing, actually. UK FT20 for the what's it? You're very welcome, mate. It worked low. Oh, it worked lowercase, is it? Okay. Yeah. It's a bit different with My Fund of Futures. You've got to actually use my link. You can't just put the UK FT in. All that does is give you an extra 5%. So you've actually got to select the link and go in that way. I don't know why they do it a bit long-winded. It would make it be a lot easier if you just put a code in, but that's what they do anyway. But no, I'm impressed with it. There's some things I like about it. I like the fact that you can get paid quickly if you want to. I like the fact that they scale you in at one contract, saves you doing too much damage. It doesn't make you feel like they're rooting for you to do well, and I kind of like that. Sometimes if they give everything to you on a plate, yeah, we'll give you 90% off, do what you like, trade as much as you want, you sort of set yourself up to fail. So I like the fact that you scale in, which I think is nice. I can only take one contract on My Fund of Futures at the moment, so my balance is over $1,000, and I like that. It's going to keep me around for longer. Let's have a look how Bitcoin's doing. I'm waiting for the CPI data, which will give us a picture of what the markets are likely to do. I've sold all my crypto at the moment, and I'm just waiting for a little bit of a dump, which hopefully, depending on what the CPI data does yesterday, will give us it. I'd rather miss out on a bit of a move than be stuck in when the market dumps. Bitcoin's a couple of $100 under 60,000 at the moment. It's more or less slightly red, but more or less neutral. So we've had a touches, we've had a break, one attempt to go higher. I'm not taking this. This is risky for me. That much from the EMA. May take a failure though. That might go back onto one contract now. That ATR's come down a little bit. Sorry, two contracts. There's a failure there. Bar's not brilliant. Probably a failure. Well, it is a failure. That's if it works. There's going to be some longs in there and possibly there. So if this does come down, I think it's likely going to get below there. But I'd prefer that a little more bearish. There's going to be longs in there and there's going to be longs in there. So this is struggling now. We've sort of hit this level 1, 2, 3 times. So I won't be surprised if this comes falling down and taking out these. These are weak positions, I think, in relation to that EMA. They're quite high. Now, they may work, obviously, if the market's strong enough. It may just breeze. But the way this is struggling, I think this is going to have a quick flush down. And there is a second entry short there, 1, 2, 3. So I'm tempted to take this.
Order submitted.
It's just a bit too congested, I think.
Order
It's
canceled.
just too congested. Looking on this chart, it's congested. It's not triggered anyway, by the looks of things, so.
Order submitted.
Okay, I'm in without failure. This looks like it's going to take me out. I'm struggling lately. Going to take me out for sure, isn't it? Hey, just give it one extra tick. Sometimes the extra tick saves you bacon.
Order filled.
Yeah. Lad. I am really struggling lately. Yeah, probably right. I'm just struggling lately. I just seem to be just struggling. I think I need to walk away today and just take a few breaths. That's 3 losing trades in a row. I rarely do that. So I'm going to knock it on the head for today, guys, actually. I'm just not feeling it at the moment. I don't know why. So best of luck anyway if you're carrying on. I hope you get a trade or two. But failing that, I'll be back tomorrow. So have a great evening. Stay safe. And I will be back same time tomorrow. Bye for now.